and it's gonna be like the biggest project that I do.
To be honest, my memory's a little fried, and that's because of some other shit I really shouldn't say on camera.
Okay, so Kiki, I'm still a little mad at you, girl. No fronting. Cause that ass. Because okay, Kiki, this chick.
Do something, right? Just sit at home and eat.
People wanna have a glass of wine, wanna eat a donut, you know?
No, it's like I'm just uncomfortable. Like the dude hit, like girl, y'all should have seen it. And I said, look, I'm wrong, but no, he gonna be good. He's sad.
Look, man, I could be saying shit out of context, but like, trust you me, there's gonna be something that you either.
I want to be a millionaire. This is what it's gonna take for me to be a millionaire.
Like you came so far, so like, what's the point of stopping now?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just like me saying, you know, run Forrest run, and he stopped running.
Hello everyone, welcome to yet another episode of Transparent Podcast. I have a very, very special guest with me today. If you could, for those who don't know, some of y'all should know, and if you don't know, you know you should, but could you just introduce yourself to my viewers for the first time, give them your name and then where you from?
Yep. So Jeremiah Perales, right? From Omaha, Nebraska. That's where I was born and raised, and then been living in Colorado Springs for about four or 5 years now.
Okay, sweet.
Yep.
Man, I would be remiss not to mention Omaha.
Yeah.
We know who else from there, but we'll probably get into that a little later. But so man, just like for my viewers, obviously this is their first time seeing you on my little platform. Mm-hmm. For those who don't know, like I said, y'all, some of y'all should know, but just tell them a little bit about you. Just tell them a little bit about life growing up, a little bit about you, and then kind of lead into, because they don't know what it is you do and kind of how you started.
Yeah. So I mean, Omaha, Nebraska, right? You know, it's everyone thinks of Nebraska and they're like, hey, that's just farmland. You know, that's just cornfields.
Cornfields.
There's actually a city, yo. I swear, Omaha's probably, I think, is bigger than Colorado Springs, and it's growing. Like it continually, like it's really growing.
Yeah.
But yeah, Omaha. I grew up. You know, had both my parents, both of them. You know, they're just very supportive. We're church-based family, big family-based, family.
Yeah.
3 older brothers, a little sister. So brothers were tough on me.
Yeah.
And then the sister, she was spoiled because she the little princess.
She's the little one. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, growing up, I grew up on the South Side. Big like Hispanic community basically.
Okay.
But yeah, so I grew up playing sports, man. Sport, all around athlete.
Okay.
Football, baseball, basketball, soccer, wrestling.
Ooh.
Like I did all that before I even started boxing. And boxing, that's where I'm doing today. But
yeah,
I was an all around athlete, just like my older brother. I played every sport, everything I ever did. I always wanted to be the best I could be. You know.
Yeah.
Anything I ever did, even school, even like music. Man, I played the violin.
Oh,
most people don't know that.
No, yeah, I didn't know that.
I played the drums, man. So
did it all.
I did it all. I did a lot of different things. Stayed busy, kept me out of trouble for the most part. But yeah, so growing up in Omaha was cool. It I love my city. You know, I'm wearing my Nebraska hat right now.
Yeah, you got a rep.
Yeah, I love my city, man. It made me who I am today. But I just saw a lot of different things growing up, and I knew when I turned 18, I wanted to get out of my city though, just to, eventually maybe I'll go back. But I just saw like bigger things for me, and that's why I joined the military. Okay. And then I found out you could box in the military, and
that was like, a no-brainer.
Yeah. I'm like, I could serve my country, and box with them. You know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, I kind of saw that like high school, and I was like, yeah, that's the option, that's the route I want to take. So
okay.
Luckily I got to do that.
Man, that's quite the little backstory, and like you said, a lot of people think Omaha is just fields or whatever, but it's, like you said, it's popular. I actually been once.
Okay.
And it was to I think when they had it was the ice cream cruise, like a big car show or car event. It was probably like a few years back, but I went and I was surprised too, because I'm like, man, like it's it's pretty busy. A lot of people.
It's slept on. It definitely is. Most people, if you don't know, you don't know. But
yeah. But if you know, you know.
If you do, you do. I mean, yeah, like I
Yeah.
took one of my boys a few months ago.
Mm-hmm.
He's from California, you know, he's been living out here.
Okay.
And I'm like, dude, you trying to go back home with me one time? And he's like, dude, not really, you know?
Yeah.
But we went and he had a great time, you know. I mean,
What's up?
like he was just one of the people who just don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But now he went, he's like, dude, your city, that's the city. I'm like, all right, yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Mess with it.
Yeah.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So man, I didn't even know that you did all those other sports too.
Yeah.
But tell us a little bit about, obviously, like, you know, bread and butter. You kind of just went with the boxing because you like, oh, I could do that military. That's too easy. What was, if you weren't really like honed in on like boxing, what I don't know, what's your like second favorite, or what's your other sport that you would have really put more focus into?
Yeah. Hands down, football is my favorite sport.
Mm.
Growing up, I loved football. I was like, nah, I'm gonna go play D1 college. You know, I'm going to the NFL. Like,
Yeah.
Football was that was my love right there.
Mm.
But hey, being 5'6" don't help.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I just it wasn't a reality for me. You know, played freshman year, sophomore year I got injured. And I was playing quarterback. I was the shortest quarterback, man, bro. I couldn't even see over my lineman. My lineman 6'4", 6'3", you know what I'm saying? Either I'm deep in the pocket or I'm getting out, rolling out because I can't see.
Oh, and I know they weren't really touching you with the running.
No, I take off.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I came back junior year after my injury, and I was like, all right, I still want to play this sport, but obviously I got to pick a different position. So I played slot receiver, played safety and corner on defense. So senior year, junior year, I got to keep playing, but I just knew, hey, this is coming to an end. You know, I just had to realize. And by that time, I was already boxing. More of a seasonal thing, right? Because I played baseball 4 years of high school.
Oh, shoot, so you was
Yeah, I was definitely still busy throughout high school. So just kind of realizing like, hey, like, and I was going to, you know, top tournaments in high school. Even on the seasonal like type of timing, I'd still make it to the nationals, you know, win a couple fights at nationals. Still doing good, but I knew if I dedicated myself like in my time really to one sport, I could, you know,
you could go places.
Take it even further. So I would say it was like the end of senior, it was like the middle senior year. And I was like, I heard about you could box in the Army, and I was like, dang. I was like, I mean, I could keep doing it. You know what I'm saying? I'll be financially set. Joining the military, you know, that being stable. You know what I'm saying? The benefits, you know, getting out of the city. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, cool, I can check those boxes while still, you know, having the pursuit of boxing. So, I mean, that's where I just went all in.
Man, dude, that's a good story. And could you tell too? But and this would be crazy if y'all don't know. But could you let them know who was one of the top dogs out of Omaha when it comes to that sport?
The pound for pound king, you know, Terrence Crawford. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man.
Yeah, man, Crawford. That's like family. So my dad, he fought professionally. My uncle fought professionally.
Oh shoot.
And they grew up, well, not growing up, but when they were pro, they fought on the north side for CW boxing gym, right? And that's where Bud grew up. Like he grew up going to that gym. So, you know, he's a young kid, and my dad and my uncle, you know, they're pros and everything. And I've heard stories where like they were working with him because he was, you know, young amateur sparring. And they're pros already, you know what I'm saying, sparring. So they're sparring with him, working with him. And then like this whole team, you know, Coach Red, Coach Bomac, Coach Saul, you know, they've all been together since the beginning. So
Bomac.
yeah. So like it's great every time. Crawford, I mean, if y'all don't know, he comes out to Colorado Springs and he does his camps here for every fight. So when he comes out here, and I'm already here, he comes to the same gym that I'm at, Triple Threat, and it's like family. Like I love seeing them here. You know, they're hype. They're working hard. I'm telling you, they work harder than any other camp I've ever seen.
Dang.
I mean, they truly work. They put in the work, and that's why they're so great. But yeah, like every time they come here, it's like family being here. So
That's
it's cool being able to train alongside them.
Man, that's what's up. That's what's up. So also tell us a little bit about. So obviously you've been boxing for a good minute. I don't know roughly when did you start? You know?
I was like 10, 11 years old. I had
Okay.
my first fight. Yeah, I had my first fight on one of my dad's shows. So my dad has a boxing gym.
Okay.
So after he went pro a little late, and then he didn't make where he wanted to make it, moved back home, and then he started a Christian based boxing gym back home.
Oh shoot.
So
That's
he
dope.
started that since I was like 4 years old, maybe.
Dang.
We started in my garage. I
Man.
remember seeing all these dudes coming outside to my garage. I'm like, what's going on? And they
Oh,
training
man.
and stuff. So I'm just like, running around.
Mm-hmm.
And then we moved into another building, and then now we have another building,
Man.
huge facility. We have our shows there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a community center. That's what it really is.
So pretty much your whole life, even though you started maybe like 10, 11, whatever,
Yeah.
you always been around boxing. Like Pops did it.
Oh, yeah.
Like you've
Yeah.
always been around the sport since you was little, pretty
Yep,
much.
definitely. I've always been around the sport.
Man.
Always knew I wanted to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I even tried to start boxing when I think I was like 6, 7 years old.
Man.
And me and my cousin, we wrestled together.
Okay.
And we was tight. Me and him, we were like brothers. Like
Mm-hmm.
we did every sport together. We wrestled every weekend. And I would go with him and his dad, so my uncle. We go to their boxing gym or whatever.
Okay.
Like just to stop by or whatever, say what's up.
Yeah.
And I remember I was like, hey, I'm just gonna box with my uncle because my dad wouldn't let me. My dad, he didn't accept kids till 10 years old. So I'm like 6,
okay.
7. So I'm like, I remember telling my dad too. I was like, hey, can I just box for my Uncle Grover while you
Yeah.
until I'm 10? And he's like, no. He's like, you're not about to box for somebody else. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man.
I was eager as
Yeah.
a kid. I was eager to box like my dad, like my older brother. My older brother was a real successful boxer.
That's crazy, man.
But-
It's a boxing family.
Yeah, it's a boxing family for real. We always watched all the big fights,
Mm-hmm.
really all the fights.
Dang. Man.
Always at the crib.
So tell us a little bit of what are just some of your like highs or some of the highs of like boxing or just some accomplishments that you got along the way with also like you said doing it with being in the military, which I can imagine that's already just a thing you got to worry about in itself. But
Yeah.
what's some of the I don't know, successes or some of the good moments you've had with the sport or accomplishments?
Yes, I mean, so since I was real young, like I think it was my first tournament was the Ringside World Tournament. And I went out there and me and my team, we did great. I think we brought like four champs back. Yeah, I think like 4 champs back. And I was one of them. So it was cool. Winning that just off rip from getting started was like a big like, all right, this is for me. This is a sport,
Yeah. That's what's up.
As a kid, I went to National Silver Gloves a couple times, National Junior Olympics.
Oh
And
man.
then growing up, I went to different national tournaments, always did whatever I had to do to advance and stuff. And then
Yeah.
joining the military is where I kind of got to really focus. Obviously, being a part of the program that I'm in, WCAP, has really helped me focus and lock in and just take my game to the whole next level. So,
Man.
I've been, I think since 2021, I've been in the rankings from number 4, number 3, number 5, number 6, number 4, number 3, like number 4, like I've been in the top probably 5 for the past like 3-4 years
Man.
at the 125-pound weight class. Just
Man.
up and down, but somewhere, always up in there.
Yeah.
Which has been great.
And is that a pretty stacked weight class? Like some killers around that in
Yeah.
that weight class?
So if you know boxing, if you know amateur boxing at least, 125 is always stacked. Not just with like the amount of people, because it is with that, but with
Okay.
the amount of talent.
Okay.
You get a lot of talented, great fighters, which I definitely see like bigger names. Like you wait a couple years, you see some of the brackets that I had. Watch all these dudes that I used to be in my brackets. They're
Yeah.
gonna be. the
And you've been
next-
in the ring with a lot of these guys.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I've been in the ring with a lot of them, but I would say all these national tournaments, right? I represented Omaha National Golden Gloves in 2019 when I first turned 18.
Man, that's
And
an
then-
accomplishment right there.
I moved out here, and I think it was 2020 there was COVID, but 2021, 2022, 2023 represented Colorado at the National Golden Gloves as well. So being a part of that team was a great experience. And then, I mean, yeah, just other tournaments with the WCAP team. Obviously, we would go to all the top tournaments and represent. And then, really, the main thing though, the biggest one, right,
Yeah.
is Olympic trials.
Yeah.
Getting qualified to go to the Olympic trials, that's that's huge right there in itself.
Mm-hmm.
And for me and my team, the whole team, WCAT team, we all qualified, which was huge because, man, when you work so hard, especially with other people, it means a lot to see them succeed. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, obviously you got that goal. You gotta do what you want to do for yourself. But seeing my teammates right next to me, like punching their way, their tickets.
And you've seen the work they put in.
Exactly.
Because you've been there with them.
And I hate it just as much as they do seeing them lose. Like if I see them, that hurts.
Yeah.
But seeing them succeed is
one of the best.
that great side too. Man. So yeah, I mean, just getting done with the Olympic trials, we went in December. I think I had to bye the first day, and then I lost to, I don't know what he was seeded, but to a good opponent. He got a bronze at the trials.
Okay.
But I mean, it was a great fight. I don't know if I really thought I did what I had to do to win it.
Yeah.
You can look at the scorecards, man. They had me more points than him, but no. All that to the side, man. It's just a part of the game. The amateur game is real quick. You get 3 rounds.
And they make the decision.
It's fast. It's a fast pace. That's why I'm excited, to eventually turn pro because, it's a little bit slower pace. You can pick your shots. It's not about the tat, tat, tat. It's about sitting down and, looking to hurt your opponent.
Man. And two, for those who don't know, and I may be a little blurring, is when it comes to the pros, is one of the, I guess, criteria, is it who's landing the cleaner, harder shots? Because I think like you were saying, like some people could throw in, I don't know, more volume, but is it more, when you go to the pros, is it more about who's landing more like accurately or cleaner?
Yeah, so I mean, there's different criteria, right?
Okay.
Like ring generalship, power shots, the more shots. I mean, obviously dropping somebody. Yeah. So there's different things judges look at and do it. The 10-9 rounds. If you're really whooping them, the 10-8 round, or you drop somebody 10-8 round, something like that. So, but I would say the pro game from the amateur game, they're looking for like the clean shots, the flush, the
not grazing like the glove, but more like he hit him clean.
Like amateurs more of like a boom, 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 like barely even touching them. You know what I'm saying? They're he's
look like you're doing something.
But pros, they're looking for that flush, that clean, hard shot. And that's what I'm excited for. And you got, smaller gloves, right? You got 8-ounce gloves.
8-ounce gloves, yeah.
No headgear. Take off the headgear. So now you're gonna see who's really durable, who could take a shot, and then take a shot and then return a shot.
Keep going, yeah.
So I'm excited to turn pro. I've always been told I had that pro style.
Yeah.
I'm telling you,
you ready?
It's about to be a journey, man. I'm really excited.
That's what's up, man. And man, I want to get into just for the viewers, because we got a nice little I guess community out there that like boxing and things like that, or fans of the sport. But just with a couple little fight predictions, right?
Yeah.
We just kind of want to see your personal take. Just hitting it right out the gate. How do you see if it happens, a Canelo Benavidez playing out?
Oh man, that's an exciting fight. It really is. But I honestly think I like Canelo. I do. But I think Benavidez wins that just because I think he's naturally the bigger guy. Canelo at 168, man, he don't belong there. Me personally, I don't think he belongs at 168, but he's there because he's so great that he can be. He's not the bigger guy. Nobody at 168. That's just a big weight class. Yeah. He's not that big. But, I mean, he's strong, but he's not that big naturally compared to some of these guys.
Size-wise,
yeah. And Benavidez, man, he's a beast. He has a heart of a lion. That dude, I think if that fight comes down to it at 168, Benavidez is gone.
It could be a new king.
Yeah.
Man, okay. And just to give you a few more, how do you see? Obviously, there's some other fights happening and stuff coming up, but how would you see a Shakur and a Tank fight playing out?
That's another great matchup too. I mean, Shakur, man, he's skillful. Like that man is very, very technical, very slick. He's been getting a little bad rep recently just because he's not the most exciting fighter, right? He's not the knockout puncher like Tank. Uh, I think Shakur. I really think he can outbox him and outclass Tank. I think he can keep him outside. You know, just as long as he doesn't get caught with nothing. Which is, you know, Tank got that puncher's chance, man. I mean, I'm not saying he ain't talented and not a great boxer as well, because he is, but I just think Shakur has a little more edge to it. I think he's a little bit longer. I think, you know what I'm saying, I think he has that will to win, you know what I'm saying? I think I pick Shakur over that. But that's a tough.
That was a hairline.
Yeah.
Okay,
Definitely.
okay. Now to lighten things back up a little bit, but well, I don't know. But obviously now a fight coming up. How do you see the Frank Martin and Tank Davis playing out?
Man,
that one kind of got me.
Frank Martin, man, he's a bold guy, man.
Yeah,
you know, coming off that loss. And to fight another, you know, a even bigger puncher, right? Tank. That's a dangerous fight. Frank Martin has a lot of skills. I think he's a great fighter, but I still see Tank coming on top, still catching him. I mean, I could see that being a knockout, really.
Yeah, man. And yeah, both dudes, they both got some power, so it's like that's interesting, you know.
Yep.
But and then how do you see? I don't know if this fight will ever even happen, but how do you see a Spence and a Boots Ennis playing out if that ever happens?
See, that'd be an exciting fight too. I would like that. Definitely at like 154, because I don't think Spence is gonna go back down to 47.
Yeah, probably not. Yeah.
But Boots, I mean, he's a young boy that's coming up. That's like he's you know, he's making noise. I think he's a beast. He's an Olympian too. I think if it was this year, and Spence can get his mind right, I think Spence can win that. But I don't know. Mentally, I don't know where he's at coming off that loss with Crawford, because no one expected that fight to. I mean, some people did, I guess. I mean, I did predict. You know, I got paid off it too.
Yeah.
The stoppage to be like those late rounds.
And it's crazy. Me, I thought I like both guys, but I honestly thought Spence was gonna win that one.
Yeah.
And the reason I thought that, because it's just like, even though I know from me watching, I'm just like, it seemed like Spence kind of just moved back and forth, and he kind of just walk you down, and he just kind of, you know, just beat you to the body. But I just thought, I was like, I think Spence is just go. Even though I thought Crawford more versatile, but I was like, I think Spence just go walk him down, you know, eat some punches, and then just keep going to the body, and then eventually just, you know, just press him the whole fight, and then eventually get him. But then, like you said, nobody was expecting what happened, and I mean, like, man, that was after that, because to me, like I said, I think Spence will win this one, but I'm like, Crawford good too, but I'm like, no, I got Spence, but I'm like, but if Crawford do win this fight, I'm like, I'm gonna know he's that guy.
Yep.
And man, like, it's two things. I've never seen, from my own eyes, somebody take that bad of a beating and make it look, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Crawford made it look easy. But then two, I never seen nobody like Earl get up, where it's just like, it was hard to watch.
It was painful.
Once he already, I was like, man, I already see where this is going, and then it's not turning around. It's like, it's nothing he could do.
Nothing.
Crawford was just too slick. The counter punching was, his timing. I mean, man, he was catching arrow in between. Every time he was finished shoot something, Crawford already tagged him.
Yeah, like you said, I mean, Spence, he's exactly what he says. You know, he's gonna break you down. You know, he got that wide stance. He's gonna, you know, force his will on you.
Yeah, he just kind of just force it on you.
Crawford just so versatile, and he's like, I'm not gonna let him do that.
Dude,
you know,
that shocked me.
It started with taking away that jab. He took away that jab, and then he, you know, started to get his rhythm and started picking his shots. And I mean, he bullied the bully, like he really did. And it just shows, man, how much like his IQ is just crazy. You know, his ability to do so many different things at such a high level, and then how much work he puts in. Like I get to see him at camp. I've been in some of his camps before.
Yeah.
that dude works hard. He's strong. You know what I'm saying?
For his size, yeah.
I've seen him walk into the gym. Someone has like a huge, hexagon bar or whatever, like 4 something on there. No warm up, just man, I can lift that. Stop playing with me, like you can't lift that, like joking around with him.
Yeah.
Lift that up, you know
Make
what I'm
it
saying?
look easy.
That man is the most competitive dude, I swear. That
Dang.
yeah, Bud's competitive about everything. Like
Dang.
I wrestled with him before at the gym.
Oh yeah, he wrestled too, don't he?
Yeah, he be like to wrestle a lot. But
oh man,
that man is competitive with everything. Like,
yeah,
if you call him out on anything, be prepared because even if he don't do it, he's gonna give you a run for your money.
yeah,
Definitely. Yeah,
man, that's what's up, man. I wanna get one more prediction out of you.
Yeah.
So we hit a few. How do you see? Trying to think who else in the mix. Okay. I mean, I'm a Tank guy,
Okay.
so I
Okay.
always throw him in the mix. But how do you see a Tank and a Tiafimo playing out? And I kind of like Tiafimo too, but I don't know. How do you see that one playing out?
Tank and Teal. I mean, Teal's naturally bigger, but
What do you think? Do you think a catch weight like 130? I don't know, 137, 138? Is that a possibility? Or matter of fact, if Tank went up to 140 and fought him at 140,
I mean, I definitely see it being more like that.
okay.
Tank going up to 140. I don't know. I don't know how exciting, how big that fight would sell. But I don't know, man. That's a good little matchup. I never really thought of. I guess Tank got speed, got the power.
And then we see what T.O. just did to what was his name? Josh Taylor.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Teal's hungry. He is. He's trying to get his name back. Man, I don't know what I say about that fight. I'd say I don't know.
at 140.
I don't know. Tank. He got some. I don't know, man. Tank. He surprises me every time. Not because like I don't know what kind of fighter he is, but he just shows like I feel like he don't show everything every single fight.
Yeah, I know.
He's very like, very minimal. And then when he has to pull something out of his bag, he pulls it out of his bag, and then it's like, dang,
Yeah.
this guy's a lot greater than most people even think. I'd probably say Tank just because he got that confidence. He's on the high horse right now. He's compared to T.O. was up, down, trying to get back up and stuff.
Yeah.
And
Even that when he fought, what was his name, Kambosos? I swore T.O. was gonna win that fight, but I know too a lot. I don't know if it had nothing to do with it, but it was so much going on. Remember, he was talking about his dad and all this other stuff. So he kept saying he's like, I'm gonna come in there try to knock him out. But then it seemed like he was fighting out of like it's like that's not the regular T.O.
Yeah.
He came out trying to swing and then kind of got caught and then he knocked him back down. I'm like, that's not the T.O. I was used to seeing. But then at the Josh Taylor fight, it took him a few little rounds to warm up. But then it was just like,
I think he had to get grounded. He had to because he reached the pinnacle so quick.
yeah,
beating Lomachenko and everything, and then he's like,
and his pops
too
is
high.
comedy too.
yeah,
his pops
is
comedy.
But yeah, I think he's getting back, but I don't know. I think that's a dangerous fight for him to fight Tank. I do, even though Tank's a smaller guy.
Yeah. Okay. Cool, man. Well, appreciate that. Went over some, different predictions, things like that. And of course, we know from the time we do this pod, people could get better. They could, show us different things. But I can see almost eye to eye on every single, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And me, I'm a little biased because I'm like, I don't think nobody messing with Tank. But that Shakur fight, when you said, that's the one that make me the most nervous because I'm like, dude, them the little half step he be taking back and they be like just barely missing him.
Yep.
And it's like he's sitting right in your face smiling at you. I'm like, the dude, his I don't know, his timing or his, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just crazy.
No, it really is.
Yeah.
It's always been like that, even in the amateurs. I remember going to these tournaments, watching him as an amateur, man. That he's talented.
He's the truth. Okay. So too, man, I just wanted to ask you, what do you kind of have either planned for the rest of this year, 2025, either personal goals or with the sports or anything? Like, what's just some of something that you got cooking up, or is it kind of more low key right now?
Yeah, man. After the trials, kind of like still training.
Okay.
Still, putting in work every day. Just but I've been kind of relaxed. I've been living, kind of maybe I'll work out on the weekend, but I'll sleep in first. You know what I'm saying? Usually it's like up early. Just always put in extra work. About to buy a house in a few weeks. It should be closing pretty soon. So
That's what's up.
and then also like in the unit that I'm in, WCAP, right? I'm on my way out of it.
Okay.
So it's just time now. So I'm on my way out. Hopefully end my contract or finish my contract next year. So on my way out, going back to a regular unit. If I can, I mean, I'll make the time to get the amount of training I need, and hopefully turn pro. Sometime soon.
Okay.
I'm excited because, we did a lot of great things in amateur boxing in the realm, but there's so much more.
It's time to transition to a
Time
new
to
chapter.
yeah, exactly, and I'm excited for it. I think
That's what's up.
turning pro would be a great thing for me, and I'm just excited to see the milestones I can achieve. So
For sure.
for
man.
me, it's just getting ready to turn pro.
Yep.
Yep, getting some great sparring in, getting some great training camp, stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
and then looking to get signed and turn pro and stuff like that. So
Man.
I'm excited. That's what's big for me coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Besides buying this house, buying this house finally
Yep.
out here, being a homeowner, I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are the few things that's going around with me.
Okay.
Yep.
That's what's up. That's what's up. And then too, man. Lastly, could you give any words of advice to any, like, say, young kids out there, young fighters that's coming up that they want to, eventually either take the path you win and kind of, either do something with military or to eventually, go pro. This was either some key tips you could give them or just some words of advice or encouragement for any youngins out there that's training and they like, well, I want to go pro one day, but what's maybe, I don't know, either some things you've learned on the way that you wish you knew sooner, or just some words of advice, or just anything you could give, like just some little nuggets to any of the newbies out there trying to come up.
I mean, boxing's a great sport. If you haven't done it, I think you definitely should. If not, any type of like self-defense sport, right? You want to be able to protect yourself, protect your family. I think, and it builds so much character, right? You determination, motivation, like just the discipline that the sport teaches you. And it's a different type of sport when it's just you, right? Because when it's you versus one other person, you got no teammates, you got no coach in there with you, so it's gonna show you how much work you put in, how much time you've put to your craft, and see the results.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So
Like that.
like that's why I loved wrestling so much growing up as a kid, because it was the same thing as boxing is. Like I know it's me or him. So 100% every single time I'm like, I'm better than him. That's how you should think. That's
how you should,
the mindset. But yeah, boxing, man, I think the biggest thing, motivation's cool, but I think discipline's everything. When you're starting to cut weight, something like that, not having those cheat meals every day. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be focused. You gotta stay, disciplined on that diet. The days you want to wake up, or you don't want to wake up, you want to sleep in. Nah, you gotta wake up and you gotta get in this work. Or late at night, after work, after school.
You tired.
You tired. Gotta go put in that work. Those times when you don't want to do it and then you do it, man, I feel like that's just like afterwards it's a different type of feeling, because you know, like, dang, I didn't want to do that, whatever, and then knowing there was that hill and you climbed it, and now you're on the other side.
You did it anyway.
Exactly. Because for me, like I said, I was busy, but it was hard being busy. In high school, I'd go work out in the morning, like 5 a.m., 6 a.m., whatever. Go home, shower, go to school. After school, I'm going to football practice or baseball practice. And then straight from there, go straight to the gym
Oh, man.
and get my boxing workout. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and that's how it was in the military. My first 2 years, I wasn't on WCAP. I was at a regular unit at the SSA, which is like a warehouse basically. So I would go, get a run in at like 4:30 because you got PT at 6:30, and I don't get nothing out of PT. PT,
Oh, man.
if y'all really athletes, y'all know PT. You ain't getting much out of it, unless it's a run day, and
But
even
you
then,
probably feel like you're just stretching out.
yeah, exactly. So then go home, go shower, go to work, get off like 5, 6 o'clock. I would go straight to the gym. I wouldn't even go home. I'd go straight to the gym because I know once I go home and take off my uniform,
You ain't gonna wanna, yeah.
I'm comfortable. I mean, dinner, I'm comfortable.
Yeah.
So those long days, I mean, it takes sacrifice. It does. You put in that work, you stay disciplined. I'm telling you, it's gonna pay out. It will pay off, and you're gonna see how much success you can really achieve because you did it. So just say have that discipline, have that goal, make goals, little goals, lead to bigger goals. But yeah, so those are a few like words of encouragement, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Man, yeah, I like what you hit on. What you said, the discipline, man, because like you said, it's easy to be like you said, like motivated or whatever for like or a short period of time or something. But like this one, like you said, that's when the days where you don't want to do something, or like you said, you already at the house comfortable, and it's like, dang, I know I need to go to the gym. That's what I need to be doing. But I'm gonna just chill, or I'll go tomorrow, or you know what I mean, or I'll make up for it the next day, or
it's very easy, very easy.
You just fall in that trap.
Discipline, that's the biggest thing, I think. Yep.
Man, I appreciate that. And then lastly, man, for anybody who just seen this podcast, this was their first time seeing you, they was like, man, this dude cool. I want to check out, any fights, anything. You got any socials, anything you want to plug in, or?
Yeah. I mean, I got Instagram, J Perales. What is it? J Perales 402. Yep.
Okay.
I believe that's my Instagram. I mean, I got some other social medias too, like Twitter, and not really big on TikTok. I just watch TikToks. Really, I have a few TikToks on there, but really just Instagram. I would say J Perales 402. You can follow me on Instagram.
Cool.
Hopefully, soon I'm gonna try to get some more media on there, get some more, like
little content
basically, hitting the bag, daily routine, whatever, and this and that, so
nice.
we can get it popping before I turn pro. So build my name, I guess. So yeah, definitely follow me on Instagram.
Cool, man. And then when you once you plug, I'm gonna plug everything in, and once you start posting some training stuff or whatever, I'm gonna definitely check it out. They go check it out. But man, excited to see the future. From based on what you're saying, it seemed like it's just 2024 is about to be just a transition to like a fresh chapter. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like it is bigger, better things out there, and you right there. So
yeah, I'm excited. 2024, man.
Man,
I've been chilling a little bit, in the beginning of the year, but this about to pick up. It's about to pick up for sure.
Don't chill too much, because that's when you start sleeping on him, and then he pop out.
Yep, exactly. Because a lot of fighters, man.
Yeah.
Right after the trials, they're like, all right, cool, let's go pro. Which is cool. I mean, that's smart. Everyone, y'all reach that, like high level, top level in the amateurs. But for me, I'm like, I'm gonna take my time.
It's no rush.
Yeah, no rush. And then on top of that, like, I don't want to go into these fights still fighting like an amateur. I want to go in every fight. Hey, I'm getting a knockout. I want to, you know what I'm saying? I want to be 10-0, 10 knockouts.
You ain't trying to leave it up to the judges.
Exactly. No, none of that. I'm done leaving it up to judges. This is we looking out for knockouts every single fight. So,
man,
yeah, I'm excited.
JP 2.0. But hey, I want to give you the shake on camera, man.
Yep.
And to all the viewers out there, we want to thank you for tuning in and watching yet another episode of Transparent Podcast.
Yes, sir.
And we'll see you guys later.
Let me go deeper. Not enough likes on Instagram. You could keep making video for likes. It's not enough. Eventually, it's going to betray you.
Sometimes while we're expecting heaven to move, heaven is expecting us to move.
Parents, carry y'all kids to church so they can hear the word.